there we go, perfect angle. Okay, sorry about that. I pulled the camera as I pressed the record button and I got a fucked up angle, but now it's good. Okay, so I want to talk a bit about the subject of taxation in the context of the anarchist, anti-statist, sorry, that's what they like to be called nowadays, most of them. The anti-statist versus statist in the context of their ongoing, seemingly never-ending debate. So obviously the anti-statist calls taxation theft and says, you know, if I don't pay my taxes, they're going to put a gun to my head and they will kill me if I try to flee or something. And then, the statists will go on to talk about how, well, if you are a part of any civilization nowadays, any, civilized society, there's no way to function without using at least part of the overall contribution that the average taxpayer, contributes to. So that's pretty much what they go back and forth. And in theory, the idea that we would undo the state because of this issue, that's not a practical answer. But I do think that the anti-statist has a very legitimate qualm about the whole tax thing. Because say you're someone who, dedicates a huge chunk of his youth to, going on to have a very high-profile profession, and you're going to get paid a lot for that profession. That's going to give you the motive to do that. So the prospect of having to give, because obviously the more money you make, the more you're going to give away on taxes. So the prospect of having to give away, after all that work, after all that time you dedicated in your early life to acquiring an education so that you can be paid really well, and then the state comes in and tells you that you have to do this packaged tax paying, right? You don't get to pick and choose what you want to pay taxes for. No, instead they're going to make you pay for everything. And they're not even going to outline how much of every penny that you put in goes to what cause. It's just going to be this packaged thing that you have to pay for. And that is definitely, to any statist who goes ahead and says that that shouldn't cause a legitimate concern to anyone, it is really sweeping the issue under the rug. Just as the anti-statist solution of it is, overkill. We don't have to rid ourselves of the state to undo this problem. All we have to do is, hopefully, I can't believe no one's suggested this yet. Now, granted, I haven't, followed the debate in over 6 months. I got fed up with it. But, I did follow it for a long time, and no one at any point suggested this, because this is sort of a happy middle. But we can do this cherry-pick taxation. So for instance, I make use of the roads and the bridges and all that sort of shit, so I should be taxed for using those. But I have no ambition whatsoever to have a kid and put that kid through schooling. So I shouldn't be taxed. My tax dollars should not go to putting other people's kids through school. It should not be wasted on that, because that's not a privilege that I would like to have extended to me. So to me, this seems like a very simple solution. Instead of privatizing everything, we can still have the state facilitate these things in a responsible way, but at the same time, we should actually choose what we want to be taxed for and what we would like to reap the benefits of in return. So it should be a very straight line, and right now it's not a very straight line. We don't even know, aside from knowing all the crap that my tax dollars go for, like, the aforementioned putting people's kids through school, that's not the worst part. It's that the government spends my tax dollar on a bunch of shit that I don't even know that they're spending on. And that's bullshit. It should be open sourced, and it should be, I don't think there's anything wrong with taxpayers being given the option to cherry pick what they want to pay taxes on, what they want to be taxed on. And obviously, I don't pay taxes. If I say no, I don't want that, I don't want to be given that tax, then if I ever have a kid, I will actually have to put my kid through, if I want to educate the kid, it would not be as easygoing as someone who would simply pay the tax to begin with. And just as there's people who are handicapped or have no use for leaving their homes ever, if they don't want to pay for bridges and roads and all that kind of shit, well then they really shouldn't have to. They shouldn't be forced to. And right now they are forced to. It's an all or nothing system.